know the difference between a sea story and a fairy tale? Sea story starts with this. No. Okay. Sorry. Good evening. Gotcha. Welcome, everybody. I'd like to call the meeting to order. We've got a full quorum this evening. Would you give the invocation?
During this time.
You have any communication from the audience? Okay, thank you. I'd like a motion.
And so moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is it on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening. We've had 48 calls for service, 12 citations were issued, 8 warnings, 5 criminal trespass warnings issued, had 2 arrests, public intoxication and assault, and assisted 4 agencies with other calls. Just want to remind everybody that all calls must go through the sheriff's office or the Ivanhoe Police Department. The Ivanhoe Police Department does not take reports from social media. Okay? Please keep up with your pets. We're starting to see more and more pets out and about without owners. And a reminder that to operate a golf cart, or a side-by-side, you need to have a driver's license. Citations are being issued to underage drivers. Remember, the speed limits are not a suggestion. Main streets, Ivanhoe Drive, Lakewood, Durwood, Mill Creek are 30 miles an hour. All others are 25. Please be cognizant of your speeds. Any questions?
Did I hear you say there were assaults this month?
Yes. Yes.
So our police department's been pretty busy.
Yes. Continually. And not yet, but it's coming. Thank you.
Mr. Marshall, if you please. Speech.
Oh, no, not yet. It's good to be back. I appreciate. In the meantime, back at work, and bear with me on this, it's not. There we go. Is that better?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry about that. About 5,200
5,200 bags of cement.
of 80-pound bags of concrete. That was ready? Okay. How about now? That's so much better. I feel better already. I'd like to thank the Ivanhoe Police Department. We are now, for the Public Works Department, we have 3 handheld radios and 3 mobile radios that have already been installed into our trucks. So during inclement weather, outages, whatever, we will still have a way to contact each other. That's going to be a big help. It's an experiment, but so far it's working out well. Guys are going to have to get used to toting the little handheld radios around, but they'll be fine. It'll definitely help out, especially with, dare I say, hurricane season around the corner. Yeah, I know. Other than that, the dams, we've done the regular dam routine inspections. From the inspections reports, everything is where it's supposed to be. We need to get a move on and get some aquatic herbicide and kill some of the grass that's starting to come up with all this rain and some of the cracks. Anything major, of course, that report doesn't really specify. So we're on track there. Other than that, guys, like I said, I'm still trying to catch up, so it's a short report, but I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have.
So there's the fire department donated or made a trade with the police department for a tower that's been, your guys
Yeah.
installed
Yeah.
over yesterday and today.
Okay.
And there'll be an antenna and a base unit. The base unit will be inside a metal building, so that's why the antenna is necessary.
Yep.
But anyway, I wanted to say thank you for putting the work in to put that to install that antenna.
Not a problem, guys. We're happy to do it. It'll help everybody out in the long run.
Thank you.
Hopefully, we can get a repeater on there, and then these handhelds will reach anywhere in Ivanhoe as clear as I'm talking now. So that's a good thing.
So to chime in on that, the radios for the Public Works Department are two-channel. One is for just the Public Works, and the Police Department is just for the Police Department. But Public Works, during an emergency or a disaster, can switch over to the Police Department signals, and everybody will be able to communicate,
Right.
including City Hall. That's a big step in the right direction for
That's a plus.
managing any type of emergency that might come up.
But hopefully, we'll get these bags out of concrete, get that done. After that, we will be back on track with our routine maintenance, which I know has fallen off, but we tried to save lots of money with the contractors, and I think we did. But I know the guys are anxious to get back on the routine stuff.
Y'all saved us over $2 million by installing
That's a good
the
thing.
culverts.
That's a good thing.
So are these support structures for the culverts on the ends? That's what those are?
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
head walls.
Head walls.
Yeah,
Yes,
instead
sir.
of the poured-in-place concretes, which were through the roof on price, engineers said this will work just fine if it's done a specific way, and that's why it's so many bags. Okay? Thank you so much.
So, thank you, sir. So we spoke about Camelot Dam, Lake Ivanhoe. The engineering company is working to finish up the bid documents. That'll be roughly 2 weeks from yesterday. And then we'll be able to go out on bids to have the dam rebuilt. Lake Tristan, we have not resubmitted the TCEQ. The engineering company has requested some internal help in order to shift some focus to Tristan Dam and that S-turn. That's going to be a big project. It's 300 feet of 5-foot square box culvert that'll be built on site. Ms. Williams, can you kind of fill us in on what P&Z has been doing? Please, ma'am.
Are we still on? Nope. Okay. So before you, you have two ordinances that we brought before you. They've been working really long and hard on it, and we finally realized that maybe we weren't quite putting it in the right ways. So the first thing that we had to do was change some definitions on accessory buildings and the residential buildings. The only thing that changed from the old to the new is a definition of accessory building residential. And we removed a line that says not involving the conduct of business because due to certain rules, it has changed that short-term rentals is defined as a home business. So removing that line allows people to do this, but it has certain qualifications that we now cover under the second ordinance that we're bringing to you. So we removed a line saying that it cannot be a business, and in the accessory dwelling unit, we did add the word short-term rental in the very bottom line. So that will make sure that it includes short-term rentals as well as any other things that go on in the residence. Any questions over the first one?
Is that ordinance 2025-001?
Yes, 2501. And like I said, it was just one line removed and adding short-term rentals in there because by law, that's what they're classified as now.
And just to, I haven't talked to you beforehand, but just so you know, I ran it past legal and they
Always.
made a couple of minor adjustments.
Yes, I would prefer that, actually. I'm not a lawyer. We just do the best we can. Okay. And for the second ordinance, we redefined under home businesses, we added a short-term rental or occupation so that short-term rental is once again covered under our business section of it. And on B, we added a short-term rentals will require an annual permit by the city, and that is something that we will cover next meeting, as well as any prices or penalties for failure to comply.
So to be clear, the permitting is just to cover the expense of the security and the likes. It's not a moneymaker. It's just a way to register them so that we know where they are, we know who owns them, we know how to get in touch with the people in the event that there's something that goes sideways, and we know that sometimes renters can get out of hand and cause neighbors issues, and that's
For the security of one and all, there is a group that you always want to know who your neighbor is, and if your neighbor's gone, you do want to kind of know that at least somebody is coming and going, and if you do need to call, you can actually call the cops, and they know exactly which owner to call, not like a manager or something else. But that will be listed in as well. I've talked with Haley about iWorks, which they have an entire program, so the
I
cost
forgot
of a
about that.
permit-
That's, yeah.
The cost of the permit will just simply offset the actual program at this point, and so that it will be covered. That is something that I'm bringing back to the council committee to be able to talk about and what all is in iWorks and what we can do with it. And it would take a lot off of everybody's plate on that one. iWorks, I believe, was told it was like $2,500, but split up between the 35 current Airbnb and rentals that we have, it evens out. I mean, but I think it was averaging like $100 a piece is what we were looking at currently. But we have a beautiful neighborhood, and I know that there's going to be more people who want to eventually rent in here. And if we can keep our listing up correctly, then we'll be able to offset that and break even at this point, and not put too much burden on those who are renting.
So has council had a chance to review these ordinances or the,
Is there a square foot?
There is a minimum square footage for any house here, including any shed that is converted into a house must be more than 600. If it is not on lakeside, if it is lakeside or Lakeview, then it is 900 square feet. 800, sorry.
yeah,
This one a little bigger.
Nah.
Yes, but the minimum, absolute minimum anywhere in Ivanhoe is 600.
So if council, normally we would say, we would look for a motion to accept these, but if council has not had the opportunity to sit down and review them, I'm prepared to say that you can take these and review them, and we'll reconvene at the next meeting and approve it. Then we'll have the rest of
Yes.
the documents together. Is there any?
I personally think it would be good to have all the documents here before we vote, so
That's-
we can include them all
That's my train
in
of
the
thought.
review.
Yeah, okay.
Do it all in one shot. Yeah, kind of skim through it, but
Yeah. Well, it's, this is important that we get it right. It's not a money grab. It's not to cause people any inconvenience. It's just, we need to know where these short-term rentals are and who to get in touch with if there is an issue for the police. I know that we've had at least one situation where there were fights that went into the lake and the police had to show up and we didn't know who to contact.
And just to confirm, this would simply be a registration fee, nothing attached to the hospitality tax, correct?
No, at this time,
Okay.
it does not count as anything but a home business.
Yeah,
Oh,
see,
okay.
yeah,
I just
that,
wanted to clarify that for the record.
yeah, thank you. But, no, it's not we're not trying to grab money. It's not a money-making scheme. It's just a registration program.
Security protocol.
Yes, sir.
Would you be able to tell us what that program does and doesn't do, what, you know, what the benefits of having that program versus?
iWorks?
Okay, I can get that. I can start and you can fill in.
Well,
The
it's
idea
part
is-
of, it's part of this agenda item, if you wanted to add, what you know about iWorks for Carolyn.
So-
Did you see the demonstration or the?
I did went demonstration and meeting with Haley. It
Okay,
is
so you can
basically
explain it.
It's a database. So you can click on the link in our website that will be able to bring you to putting who the homeowner is, the actual location of the address. I believe there was also a square footage that could also be attached to it so that we could actually charge the permits per square footage, because that is also done in other cities, but that's a question for a later date. You also will be able to put in a manager of the property in case the owner of the property just has several and allows somebody else to manage it. And then you can add how many times it'll be rented or what your expectations of it is. It's real simple, and it will automatically go back and double check. Well, she will have to go back and double check and see if the properties on Airbnb or Vrbo is actually listed. So it will do that double check. So if they've already listed with Airbnb, but they forgot to come get their permit, we can automatically send them a notice and tell them to come sign up. So as new apps come around, they were looking to add them, but it will be, as finances and intent allows.
This will be a yearly thing?
This will be an
or
annual.
Will this be a one-time?
At this point, it was looking at annual,
Yeah, it's an annual.
because some people may do the Airbnb for 5 years and then decide this is my forever home and stay here, which we kind of hope they do.
So we're trying to do something that is as least intrusive as possible, but we've got to cover the expense.
And has there been any communication with IPOA in regards to how that traffic would be impacted or would impact the use of the parks and lakes?
The parks and lakes fall under IPOA, absolutely, and
Yes.
they are required, as Airbnb says, that they are supposed to list a rules and regulations in there, and they are listed, but how many people actually read the rules? So there is always going to be a problem. We do have somebody going back and talking to IPOA to see if they have any more feedback or if anything they would like to include, at least
So
for
we
our
have
warnings.
had conversation with IPOA. There is the issue of people providing launch keys and watercraft.
Yeah.
And that's really
No
nothing that we
parks.
can have any say-so or control over as a city. But IPOA, they've got their hands full with that
Yes. So
aspect of it.
we're trying to work with them, but, as all things take time, and it's summer season, so they're about to get real busy with tickets or permits.
Well, I thank you very much, Ms. Williams. Good
right.
job. Appreciate it. Tyler County Appraisal District activity. There has been none. Councilman Gregory has resigned. I tried to get several people to take his place. They're big shoes to fill. And Marion Blackstone stepped up and said that she would take that on and run with it. I appreciate the fact that you're willing to do that, and the city appreciates it. Did we have to have a nomination for that? Or is it just an appointment? Okay, then we're good with that. Okay, Ms. Williams, we've got some Line item adjustments to the budget. I'll let you take this and run with it, along with your treasurer's report. Yes, ma'am. Debbie? Those are my notes from, that'll help you. Thank you.
So, consider for discussion action budget amendments. We are looking to increase line item 6075.03, which is Marshall's Office, Police Department's supplies, by $5,000 based on unexpected excess revenue. The excess revenue is coming from the sale of the Tahoe. We sold the Tahoe for $5,000 a few months back. And the way that the budget works, you don't just get the $5,000 added to your line item whenever you sell something. The numbers are solid until you do an amendment on the budget and change everything and vote on it. So with all the updates of the equipment that was needed, that line item has gotten a little low, and he did have the $5,000 that we sold the Tahoe for, so we're moving to get that moved into his supplies budget so that we can get him through the rest of the year.
So to that point, part of that money was going to pay for the radios for the police vehicles. And as a result of them getting the upgraded radios to be able to communicate with the greater surrounding area.
Right.
That's how the Public Works Department ended up with radios.
Correct.
The portable ones as well as the vehicle-mounted ones. So we've got 3 vehicles with radios in them now.
Yes, it was a multi-department upgrade.
Yes.
Yes, so we are looking for a motion to approve that so that we can get the budget amended.
Clarity on incoming revenue. Did that
Okay.
incoming revenue come into the vehicle repair line?
No, it wouldn't go directly into it because you have, the way the budget's set up, you have your income at the top and then you've got your expenses. So it would go strictly into income and it would look like excessive income, and we have to move it from, essentially we have to move it from the income down to the expenses.
So we are
it's-
adding an
it's the general-
additional 523075 to the,
Just the 5,000.
just 5,000.
The 5,000 is what we can, because we sold the Tahoe for 5,000, that's the unexpected excess revenue.
So that money went into the general fund.
Yeah, it just went into, it went into the bucket.
So, and this is moving it from the general fund to the line item for the police department.
It should be, there's a line item it actually would go into, it would be vehicle proceeds would be in the income. And I don't know the number of that one, but that's where it'll show up.
I didn't bring my budget in.
I'll check it, yeah,
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Yeah, we'll have a sit down and go over the budget in more detail with Haley on another date.
I make a motion that we increase the the vehicle repair line item by $5,000 to accommodate the additional equipment.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Right,
Thank you, Haley.
on to the next one. It's my turn again.
What?
So all the financial documents and the bank statements were sent to council on May 12th. They were a little late this month, with this meeting being kind of early on in the month, including the accountant financial reports and the reconciliation details for each account. The state comptroller direct deposited $8,390 for sales and use taxes that were collected in March and reported to the comptroller in April. Last month, the sales tax deposit was $6,912. The April ad valorem taxes were received May 14th, totaling $10,545, with $8,538 going to the maintenance and operations and $2,007 for the interest and sinking. We received no payment for Ivanhoe North. The calculated balance of delinquent taxes stands at $348,842 as of April 30th. So there was a drastic increase last month in the delinquent while we were waiting on all the tax payments to come in and everything to even out. Now it's even back out to this $348,000 that we've pretty much been standing at for, from what I look at least 3 or 4 years. The Texas class interest rates remained around 4.2%. They're hanging on steady through the end of April. There was nothing to report with Citizen State Bank. After reviewing the totals for the various departments, the budgets are correct, the bank statements have been reconciled, and I believe the April financials can be approved.
Can I have a motion to approve the April financials?
So move.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, ma'am. Good job. All right. Are there any comments from council? No? Joe, you're holding back. I see you.
No, I mean, we've had a lot of, these issues with the roads and our contractors. I mean, I know you've been working hard on that, and it's just, hopefully we get past this with Texas Materials. I think we've been dealing with this for 8 months.
They should have been done last year this time.
Yeah. So it's really hopeful that we, in the next 60 days, get past this and can move on and show some real progress on some of the other projects in the city. And I know it's frustrating to everybody involved. So hopefully we can, hopefully they execute as they've made commitments to.
I really feel bad for the folks that live on Camelot Circle and the other side of Camelot Dam. Camelot Circle has been a muddy mess. It's dried up. The ruts have been smoothed out. But it should have been done before Lakey started construction on Camelot Dam. It should have been done. But LJA Engineering's inspector is going to make Texas Materials provide flagmen at every intersection necessary for providing a good detour in and out of there. Lakey should not be responsible for that. This is all on Texas Materials.
I am happy that we have that we've established a lead as a good secondary, someone that's done a good work out here. I think that's a positive for the city too.
Yes, sir.
We've got another contractor that's.
Elite Contractors has done a wonderful job on Lakewood. I've received calls about how the ditches are flowing the way that they should be. The water doesn't stand on the side of the road. It doesn't cross the road. It's one of the better roads in here. And I've taken David Barlow, the project manager for Elite, and had him look at a section of Charmaine Drive South that's failing. It's about a 66-foot section of that road that he's working up a cost for us to be able to repair that. And if that comes in affordable, we'll be able to try to use him for other repairs around here that will be needing it. Some of the roads that were done. So the roads that are going in now have 6 inches of aggregate and 2 inches of asphalt. Some of the other, Durwood was put down with 2 inches of aggregate and 1 inch of asphalt. And it looked good for a while, but it's beginning to come apart in places. The good news is the roads that have gone in since then are all going to be long-standing roads for years to come. Anyway, that's all I have for this evening. Anybody want to adjourn?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn the meeting. Second.
Yep. All in favor? We are adjourned.
That was quick.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. No, it's